Hi, welcome. This is Books with Bruju. I know how to say my own last name, don't I? Hi, welcome. This is Books with Bruju. I'm Jordan. I like to drink coffee and read books. Today, I've got a really fun video for you. We are going to be talking about all of my absolute all-time favorite books. All of my favorite books. Pretty much my entire life. I have been reading since I was little. I don't remember a time where I didn't like to read. Today we're going to be talking about all of the books that are near and dear to my heart and that I have absolutely loved and that I have not been able to stop thinking about since I read them. Now, I've got a lot of books here for you. Grab a drink. I've got my water today. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more fun reading content and reading vlogs and spinner wheel TBRs. Now, let's jump into my favorite books. Now, some of these I have talked about on my channel before. It's been a little while, it's been about a year, but I will link my top 10 favorite series video down below in the description. Now, it's a little bit outdated because in the last year I have read some really amazing series that I absolutely love, but some of the books in this stack I have talked about before. So I'm gonna go over those a little bit quicker. And if you want more in-depth information on those, you can check out the video linked in the description. Let's start off with none other than Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I started off my Outlander journey with the TV show. So yes, this was one instance where I started watching the TV show before I read the books. However, after watching like the first 2 or 3 seasons of Outlander, I was hooked. I mean, come on, Jamie Fraser, and had to read the books. I will say the first definitely 3, maybe 4 books are super good. Like they're super, super good. And then I've read 5, 6, and 7. Have I read 7? Yeah, I think I've read 5. I've read 5, 6, and 7 as well. And those are a little bit slower. They're much longer and they kind of like drag. So the first 4 books are so, so good. I absolutely loved them. I flew through the first 3 books. I flew through them and they're thick. They're thick. They're not short. None of the books in this series are short, but I love this series. I love Jamie and Claire, their story. It's just very, very interesting. The time travel. And I also highly recommend the show. So Outlander is one of my favorite books of all time. Now this is a book that I talk about in that other video, but it is the Thoughtless series by S.E. Stevens. And there are 7 books in this series. I'm currently reading book number 5 right now, actually. Thoughtless series by S.E. Stevens. So we are introduced to our main female character, Kira. She is in a relationship with Denny, who's from Australia. And her and Denny moved to the same town where one of Denny's best friends lives, and that is Kellen Kyle. And so they move in with Kellen because he has the extra room in his house. And Kellen is a rock star. He is the lead singer of the D-Bags. Well, Denny has to go away somewhere for another job opportunity. So that leaves Kira and Kellen alone in the house. And at first they're just friends. They become friends, they rely on each other, they love hanging out with each other while Kira's studying in the house, cooking dinner with each other, Kellen writing lyrics for songs, etc. Well, of course that develops into more. Then they have to tell Denny and the whole back and forth, and y'all, these books are so good. I mean, these books are so good. Kellen Kyle is still near and dear to my heart, and it has been a long time since I've read these books, but absolutely love them. Highly recommend this series. Then I've got The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. These are YA kind of dystopian, and they are loosely based off of Disney fairy tales. So the first book is based off of Cinderella. Book 2 is based off of Red Riding Hood. Book 3, Cress, is based off of Rapunzel. Then you've got Snow White. You've even got like the evil stepmother, evil queens. Cinder is a cyborg, and she lives in New Shanghai. And they're basically trying to prevent this war happening with the people living on the moon. All these adventures. It's so good. This series is so, so, so good. I absolutely love these books. Yes, they're YA, but they're still so good. Highly recommend. Think this might be my favorite one. It's been a long time since I've read them. It's probably been like 12 years, but I really, really enjoyed them. Then, of course, this would not be a Jordan's favorite book video without the mention of Harry Potter. I grew up in the heyday of Harry Potter, where the books were first released. I remember staying up so late reading this first book. Now this is not my original copy. My original book that I read is paperback. Hold on. I just want to show you guys how much this book has been loved. So it is absolutely falling apart. I mean, literally, the first couple pages are not attached anymore. I mean, they're barely attached. Like, it's just hanging on by a thread. These pages are hanging on. Oh, see? These ones, not even attached anymore. That is how many times I have read this book. I've read this book so many times. I was able to read the first 3 back to back because they had already been released, the first 3. So I was able to finish the first one. I stayed up until late. I mean, I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade or 7th grade. No, probably 6th grade when I read Sorcerer's Stone. I remember staying up late reading and loved it so much that I was like, Mom, I really need the next book. I really need the next book. Well, she went and bought them for me for my birthday, which was like a little, I don't know how far off my birthday was. But I was bugging her so much about reading them that she just gave me them. She just gave me them. She's like, you know what? Fine, here, have them early. Here's your early birthday present. Then, of course, I devoured Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban. And Prisoner of Azkaban is still to this day my favorite. But devoured those and then had to wait for Goblet of Fire. And then had to wait for Order of the Phoenix. And then had to wait for Half-Blood Prince. And finally, still had to wait for Deathly Hallows. Y'all, if you have been able to binge the Harry Potter series, you do not know the pain of having to wait. And also then having to wait for the movies, because then the movies started coming out. So it was like, okay, what's going to be in the movies? These are just so nostalgic for me. I just love them so, so, so much. I have so many different editions of these books. They're near and dear to my heart. Harry Potter. Now, totally switching gears, we've got Tidjane. And this is the only physical book I have of hers, but literally any and all books ever written by Tidjane, I have loved 99.9% of every book of hers that I've read. Literally every single one. And I've read a lot of them. I have read a lot of them. Now, she is an indie author and she publishes books really quickly. And I have read most of her books and I love every single one. Every single one I just love. I love. They're angsty and deep and dark and just full of like trauma but also relationships. And if you're gonna start with Tidjane, start with Fallen Crest. Fallen Crest High is the first book in that series. One of my really good friends got me hooked on. Actually, she got me hooked on a lot of these books, and I am forever thankful for her. Forever thankful for you, Carolyn, if you're watching. But definitely read these books by Tidjane. Fallen Crest. There are 6 or 7 main books in this series, and then a couple of novellas. And she's got a whole universe that's more extensive, and I'm almost done with it, unfortunately. I don't know, but every single book she's written. I mean, Ryan's Bed, Broken and Screwed, Bennett Mafia. I finished A Hockey with Benefits recently. It was so good. They're just so good. They're all just so, so, so good. Teardrop Shot, Enemies. Oh my gosh. Enemies is so good. A Whole New Crowd. Guys, Tidjane, every single one of Tidjane's books, just every single one. Every single one of all of them. And then we get into another series that my dear friend Carolyn recommended me. And that is The Keaton Chronicles by Gillian Dodd. I also talk about this series in my other video. Main female character Keaton, and she is in high school, and she ends up having a stalker who is threatening her life to the point where she has to go into witness protection, change her name, and she goes off to boarding school to protect herself and also her family. She has younger siblings at home still. And she goes off to Eastbrook Academy, meets a lot of people. There's a lot of high school drama, a lot of crushes, a lot of, I'm so in love with you, but man, these books just hit. These books hit. They just are so, so good. Now they are YA, but Gillian Dodd has also written a couple spin-off series with these same characters as they're grown up. And she's also written an Eastbrook Academy series with their children. She also has a series called Spy Girl. I pretty much have loved everything that I've read by this author. I just really, really enjoy her writing and the stories, and they're just so good. Again, this would not be a Jordan's favorite book video without mentioning ACOTAR. This is A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is my favorite book of the series. I am actually about to start a reread, and by this point, when this video is posted, I'll have already done my reread, so you'll have probably already maybe seen that wrap-up video. I can't remember. ACOTAR, Sarah J Maas. Absolutely love these books. Absolutely love these books. They are some of my all-time favorite. I just love Feyre. I love Rhys and Az and Cassian and Mor and Amren. I could really do without Elaine and Nesta, honestly. But I just love these books. Again, please, if you haven't read them, this is the time is now. The time is now before book number 6 comes out. So you should just hop on the bandwagon and read them because they're so freaking good. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I recently did a Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout reread in preparation for book number 6, which came out last September. These are some of my all-time favorite books. We've got From Blood and Ash, and this, I just chose a random one from the Flesh and Fire series. These are 2 of my absolute favorite series. I absolutely love Sarah Nyktos. Like, I really love Sarah Nyktos. Like, come on, Nyktos. So good. And I really do like Poppy and Cass and Kieran. I love Kieran. Cass pissed me off in the last book, honestly. I'm super annoyed with him about it. I hope that the next book will right his wrongs because I was so mad at him at the end of that book. But still love these series. Romantasy. This is a prequel series. The Flesh and Fire series is a prequel series to Blood and Ash. And the author does have a reading order on her website. I would highly suggest following that reading order because it just gives you more insight, more Easter eggs. You just find out more information and it means a lot more if you read them in the order that the author suggests. High stakes romantasy where there's a romance but also fighting and wars and people dying and learning about their new powers and discovering new things about themselves and trying to save the world. So just so freaking good. So freaking good. Now let's switch. I have these in no particular order, by the way. No particular order, just random, and they're not organized into any sort of genres or anything, obviously. But the next we're gonna talk about is Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. This is an autobiography that he has written, and I have to say, if you can immersive read this with the audiobook, so freaking good. So good. Highly recommend. I listened to the audiobook, loved it so much that I then had to buy the physical book. Insights into his life and how he became an actor, and it's got pictures and just sayings that he has come up with, how his life has been growing up and then as an actor. It gives the whole background to his all right, and how that came about and how he wasn't even in the script and he was just trying to be the character, and this is something that the character would say, and you know, all of that, and his different sayings. And green light, he would always say green light. I just loved it. Highly recommend. If you can listen to the audiobook, I mean, because he narrates it. I've got Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I have not seen the movie yet. I need to watch the movie, but I love this book. It's about Marcellus the octopus and his story, his last remaining days on this earth. Tova, she is the cleaner at the aquarium where Marcellus is, and they develop a sort of friendship. And it's also about Marcellus solving a little bit of a mystery for Tova and her missing son, some grief that she's been dealing with. I just love Marcellus. I love this story. It was a 6-star read for me. It made me cry. I just highly recommend this book. It's so worth it. And I listened to the audiobook. Again, highly recommend the audiobook for this one too. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about this next series. The Bonds That Tie series by J. Bree. You guys, this series had me in a chokehold. Had me in a chokehold in February. There are 7 books in this series, and they're not short. The other ones are longer. This one's the shortest. I finished 6 of the 7 in 6 days. I read 1 book a day. 1 book a day. That is unheard of for me. I don't read fast. I read slow. These are so good, you guys. I mean, how many times am I going to say so good in this video? But I was in a fucking chokehold. So we're introduced to our main female character, Oleander, or Ollie. She has run away from her 5 bonds. We're not sure why she has run away from her bonds. They don't know why either, but it is in an effort to protect them. As we follow this series, they find her, they bring her back, they make her stay there with him and with them. Danger follows, and in that they're trying to save their world, and they all have these powers. They all have special abilities. They think that Oleander is ungifted in this gifted community, and they're trying to save these gifted, and it's just, it's why choose, because she has 5 bonds, guys. She's got 5 bonds. And I will tell you that this series has me in such a, I mean, I'm still thinking about it to this day, but this series had me in such a chokehold that as soon as I finished it, I was already coming up with tattoo ideas. So I've got this one, this ACOTAR one. The rest of this arm is gonna be all bonds that tie. It's gonna be all bonds that tie, because that's how much I love this freaking series. It's gonna fill up an entire half of my arm. That's saying a lot. I was physically ill after I read these books. Like, I couldn't handle it. They're so good. Divine Rivals. This is about Iris and Roman, and they are rivals at this newspaper, at a newspaper. They're writers at this newspaper, and they're rivals. They each have a special magical typewriter where they are able to write letters back and forth to each other. There's also a war between the gods going on here. They are trying to save each other, trying to save their world. Iris is also trying to find her brother, who went off to fight for one of the gods and has been missing. The love story between these two is just, it's adorable. I loved this book so much. I flew through this book. It's amazing. The second book in this series, which is Ruthless Vows, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, just not as much as Divine Rivals. Oh, it's so good. And then I have not read Wild Reverence yet, so that's the prequel book. Of course, the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros. I know some people don't get the hype. Some people didn't like Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. Y'all, I am here for it. I am here for all of it. Give me more Xaden. Give me more Xaden. Give me more Garrett. Give me more Bodhi. Give me more everybody. Give me more everybody. Of course, Violet. But, and Tarn and Andarna and Xaden. I mean, okay, I know everybody, some people love it, some people don't. I'm in that I absolutely love it, and I've loved all of the books, and I cannot wait to see where the next one goes. I just recommend it. I recommend it. Just Dragon Romantasy. Dragon Romantasy. Like, please give me more. Please give me more. Now, I will have to reread these before the next book comes out, because there are things that I'm forgetting, and I don't want to forget. Just, yes, I know some people are like, well, but I am in the, I love it. I love them. And I will be reading all of the books in this series. So, Warrior Princess Assassin by Brigid Kemmerer. This is the first book in her Braided Fates series, I think is what it's called, Braided Fates. Y'all, I love this book so much. It is a why choose. This story starts off with Jory, who is a princess, and Asher, who is an assassin. And they have been friends since childhood. They grew up together. And Jory is in an arranged marriage with Kai, who is the king of another kingdom. And they're both needing the help of each other. So Jory's kingdom needs Kai's protection with him and his army. And Kai's kingdom needs Jory's father's magic to help control some sort of unexplained fires that are happening in his country. So Kai does have magic. He can summon fire. So fire has to already be somewhere, and he can summon it to him and then control it. So everybody thinks that it's Kai who is basically burning his kingdom, but it's really not. Of course, he is in need of Jory's father's magic. Jory's older brother is the one who is controlling this marriage contract, and there are some things that they're keeping from Kai. Asher makes some dumb decisions. Jory's just trying to be nice. Asher makes some dumb decisions, and they do some things to Kai that he does not like. Long story short, Jory and Asher end up going to Kai's kingdom with him as like a trial before they actually get married, and shit goes down. Shit goes down, and this book is so good. This book is so, so, so good. Let me show you the end page art because it just speaks to the story. It just speaks to the story. It's just so good, you guys. It's just... I cannot wait for the second book to come out. It comes out, I think, in September, and I'm just so excited. I can't wait. Then, 2 books that had me in a chokehold. 2 of the best books I have literally ever read in my life. They are so freaking amazing. That is Manacled and Alchemized. Manacled is the Dramione fanfic that was written by Sen Lin Yu. And Alchemized is the traditionally published version of that with things changed around so that it's not directly based off of Harry Potter anymore. God, this book is heavy. This book is heavy. I know it's long. They're both long. They're both 1,000 pages, but I mean, when I tell you they're worth the read, they're so worth the read. They're so, so good. So good. In this book, we are introduced to Helena and Cain. Helena is part of the Resistance, and she is a healer, and she has this special kind of magic that has been demonized in the Resistance minds. Helena is literally giving her life to save other people's lives and to heal them, and she's not appreciated. She's looked down upon. Cain is a necromancer, and he is part of the High Necromancer, aka Voldemort's forces. Helena has been sent to be the contact with Cain, who is spying for the Resistance. So some things have gone on, and he is now basically selling secrets, and Helena is his contact. They reluctantly develop a relationship. It's actually a pretty intense, toxic relationship that they develop. It's not necessarily based directly off of love, but just attachment. But they become very dependent on each other. Once the High Necromancer wins the war against the Resistance, Helena is captured and he can't find her. This story goes back and forth in time, and Helena has basically hidden her memories to protect Cain because she's in love with him and she doesn't want anything to happen to him. So she basically alters her mind, her brain, so that she no longer remembers who he is, so that she can't reveal his secrets to anybody. He ends up finding her finally, and Cain has to do some things that he is not proud of. He has also become the High Necromancer's lackey and does everything for him. And so Cain is now the High Reeve. He murders a lot of people. He does. And he also saves a lot of people. It's just intense. Them trying to, basically what they have to do to protect each other, and both of them sacrificing themselves to save the other person when that's not what the other person wants. Helena will sacrifice herself to protect Cain. That's the last thing Cain wants because his ultimate goal is to protect Helena. It's just, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. It's so good. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. We've got Anathema by Carrie Lake. We've got another Shadow Daddy. And in this one, we are introduced to Mavis, who is our main female character, and she lives in the mortal world. She lives in a town with kind of like Puritan-esque values, and she's seen as like a witch, sort of. She's treated very poorly. Some things happen and she's banished to the Eating Woods, but she survives by escaping to another realm and then meets Zavander. The story goes on with Mavis and Zavander trying to save both realms from a really bad dude. And obviously there's way more stuff going on than that. It's very dark, very gothic, like gothic fantasy, gothic romantasy. The second book, Eldritch, was awesome too. That one was all in the mortal realm, trying to save her town from these creatures, trying to get back to Zavander's world. And some sad things happen at the end, and I cannot wait for the third book, Vasmora, that comes out later on this year, I think in September. And I'm so freaking excited about that. I also then want to talk about the This Man series by Jodi Ellen Malpass. I also talk about this series in my favorite series video down below in the description. This series, we are introduced to Ava, our main female character, and Jesse Ward. And Ava has been hired by Jesse to redesign some rooms in the manor. Well, the manor is a club that Jesse owns. Ava does not know what kind of club this is before she gets there. And then she slowly figures out what kind of club it is. And she's kind of off-put by the type of club that it is and the kind of clientele that are there. Obviously, Jesse has an intense attraction to her and pursues her pretty heavily. And then they develop a pretty toxic relationship where he's very controlling and just loves her so much and like wants to just be around her all the time and like tracks where she goes and you know. Anyways, I really love the series. I love me some Jesse, even though he's a little toxic and a little controlling, but it's really, really good. It's a trilogy that is in Ava's point of view, and then you have a book after they are a little bit older and have children, and it's in both of their points of view. And then there are 3 more books, which are the first 3 books all in Jesse's point of view. And I haven't read those last 3 yet, but I've read the others and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I really, really enjoy this series. We've got the Ghostbird series by C.L. Stone. Now, these are YA. However, it's a reverse harem. We are introduced to our main female character, Sang, who is in high school, and her family has just moved into the neighborhood. Her father is a pretty absentee father, and he goes to work and comes home and is very not involved in his children's lives. Well, her mother is a stay-at-home mom. She clearly has some kind of mental disorder. She treats Sang very, very badly. Like, if the mom perceives Sang to do any small, tiny thing wrong, I mean, really it's not anything bad, but the mom feels like it is and then has to punish her by like kneeling on grains of rice or sitting in a chair for hours and hours and hours, or sitting in the shower with the water on where she's tied up and she can't move for hours and hours and hours and hours. And the mom like just forgets about her and disappears and goes and takes pills and then passes out. I mean, this mom is absolutely terrible. Of course, Sang doesn't want to be in the house as much as possible. Like in the morning, she gets dressed and she very, very quietly sneaks out of the house so that she can just not be there to try to avoid any punishment from her crazy mother. So she's out exploring and she ends up meeting 2 of her neighbors who happen to be boys. These boys are all part of the academy, and it's kind of like a secret society where you have your different groups and they all go to different places to try and solve some kind of mystery or make something better. There are a bunch of people involved in this academy, and all the way from like high school age until older, like people who have quote graduated, but they all like help each other out and try to like solve mysteries for each other and stuff like that. And the 2 boys are very intrigued by her because she's obviously beautiful, but also like, why is she so quiet? Why is she so like scared of everything? What's going on in her house? Like, why does she have bruises on her? You know, stuff like that. While the boys are going to this specific school to try to solve this mystery within the school, they're also trying to help Sang. Throughout the story, she is introduced to the rest of the boys that are in their group, and there are 9 of them. There are 9 of them. And of course, she develops feelings for all of them. They're slowly integrating her into their group. And that's why it's called the Ghostbird series, because Sang basically doesn't exist. She was born out of wedlock. The mother gave her away. So her father is her actual father, but the mother who's taking care of her is not her actual mother. And so that's why she treats her so terribly. Think kind of like Cinderella-esque. Sang doesn't have a birth certificate. She doesn't have a social security number. She basically doesn't exist. She's a ghost. And she's a girl, so bird. This series is so good. There's like an overarching plot trying to solve this mystery in the school, also trying to help Sang and her family dynamic and like getting her out of the abusive household that she's in. And then also there's somebody who is after their group and trying to like sabotage their group. So it's really good. And there are several books out. I think there are maybe 2 that I haven't read yet. There was a point where even now, like the author is taking kind of a long time to write the books. So I'm kind of waiting to get back into that series because now I'm gonna have to do reread. And I would rather the series be closer to being done before I start that reread, just so that I can remember the things. But it's a really good series. Then we've got the Crossfire series by Sylvia Day. And this one is another kind of like 50 Shades of Grey-esque series, similar to the This Man series is kind of like a 50 Shades of Grey-esque. I think Eva is the main female character, and then you have Gideon. Again, Gideon, super rich, super attractive, very enamored with her, kind of tries to control her. Gideon Cross is another one of those. Yeah, I like the writing better and I like the storyline better than 50 Shades of Grey. I honestly enjoyed the 50 Shades of Grey movies way better than the books, but these books I actually really enjoyed. Then we have the Clipped Wings series by Helena Hunting, and this is a like tattoo shop romance. And, you know, some darker things happen along the way. So you follow, I think the first couple of books are all like the main couple, their story, and like following them through their trauma and like things that have happened in their past. The guy's a tattoo artist. And then you follow other people that are involved in the tattoo shop and like their friends and stuff. So darker, more intense romance, not like light and fluffy or anything, but I was addicted to that series. I read all those books back to back. Also by Helena Hunting is the Pucked series. And these are hockey romances. There are 6 of them and some novellas, plus some like second gen series and some other ones. So there's definitely a lot to this world, but the main Pucked books are so freaking good. They're hilarious. The banter back and forth between all of the characters is so funny. They all play hockey, so it all has to deal with their professional hockey team. So it's not college, it's pro. In the first book, Pucked, we are introduced to Violet and then Alex Waters. Alex plays hockey with Violet's stepbrother, who she doesn't really like, and they kind of get it on each other's nerves and everything. But that's how they meet, is Violet goes to one of her brother's games and they're on the same team, and then, oh my gosh, they're so freaking hilarious. And then it follows around a bunch of the guys on the team, and they're so good. Randy's book is my favorite, which is the 3rd book. Oh my gosh, I need to do a reread of those books like so badly. They're so freaking good. So that's the Pucked series. Then we have the Marked Men series by Jay Crownover. And this is another romance series about tattoo artists in a tattoo shop. Now, the first book, Rule, they actually did make a movie, I think on Hulu, called Marked Men. The movie was okay. The books are way better. The books are way better. So we're introduced to Shaw and Rule. Shaw is Rule's dead twin's ex-girlfriend. So Rule's twin, Shaw and him used to date. Well, he died. And so now that's how they're connected, and they end up getting together. And it's like messy and emotional, and there's a lot of history and trauma and those kinds of things, but it's really good. All of the books in this series follow different characters, either at their tattoo shop or like associated with their tattoo shop. Everybody has some sort of trauma or some sort of past or whatever, some issue that they're trying to work through, and they're all super good. So I absolutely love that series as well. I know it's on its heyday right now, but the Off-Campus series. I know the show just came out. I'm addicted just like everyone else to the show. It's so good. I've already watched it twice, and I'm having to refrain from watching it a 3rd time. But I read the Off-Campus series over 10 years ago. Right when the books were coming out, I read them, and they were so good. I thoroughly enjoyed the first 3 books. So The Deal, The Mistake, and The Score. Thoroughly enjoyed those. Well, For some reason, I didn't read The Goal right when it came out. I recently read it like maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, and I gotta say I didn't love it. Now, I love Tucker. He's such a sweetheart, but I did not love his book. I did not like the main female character in his book. So I can't decide if it's because I read it so far from when I read the first 3, and so I just wasn't in the world anymore, so I just didn't love it as much, but I really didn't like the main female character. She was whiny, and Tucker was doing everything for her. Literally, he would have given her the fucking world, and she was just dismissing him, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So I did DNF that book, but I'm really wanting to do a reread, so I'm gonna give it another chance when I get to that reread. I don't know when that will be, but the Off-Campus series. I mean, can we please be here for some Dean De Laurentiis? Ugh! Now, y'all, let's talk about Credence by Penelope Douglas. I read this book for my Reading Winter Books vlog. This book also had me in a chokehold. It had me in a chokehold. I was reading this on vacation. Me and some of my friends went to New York City. We mainly went to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway with Tom Felton. But there was one night where I was randomly like really sick and was like throwing up. I have no idea why I was so sick, but I was. And so I was up reading because I didn't feel good. And when I tell you, I freaking devoured this book. We're introduced to our main female character, Tiernan, and she has just lost her parents. Her dad apparently had cancer. No one had told her this. Her mom couldn't live without him. So instead of like sticking around for, you know, their daughter, they both committed suicide. They did this on her last night of summer vacation, where the next day she was literally leaving for boarding school. She wakes up thinking that she's gonna leave for boarding school and finds her parents dead in their bed. So not only did they not care about her enough to like tell her that her dad had cancer, the mom didn't care about her enough to stick around, and they couldn't even wait until she was gone. So she freaking discovered them. So they were just shitty parents all around. Just shitty parents all around. The parents' lawyer contacted her like step uncle. Not actually related by blood. Her dad and this other guy were stepbrothers. She had never met him or his kids. So he calls her and says, hey, you know, your parents' lawyer just called me. They've given me custody of you. She was 17. She was like two-ish, 3 months, whatever, away from being 18. He's like, they've given me custody of you, but I don't expect you to come live here. He lives in Colorado, and I'm pretty sure they lived in like LA or something. We don't expect you to come here and live with us. He's like, I'm not gonna try to control you or make you do anything. Like, you're almost 18, you're almost an adult. So, you know, if you want to come up here and live with us, you're more than welcome. And I'll even send you a plane ticket. She obviously doesn't want to stay in her parents' house. It's very sterile. Like, everything's like white. It doesn't look lived in. She freaking hates being there. So she decides, well, what the heck? I'm just gonna leave. So she just packs up and leaves. Doesn't even give it a second thought, just packs up and leaves. And then so she gets to Colorado and gets off the plane, and she's like, oh fuck, I don't even know this dude. And I'm about to get in a car with him and go to his house with him and his 2 sons. And like, they could be serial killers. Like, she has no freaking idea. So she goes, and they live in this super, super remote area at the top of a mountain where once it starts to snow, they are trapped up there. You can't get down the mountain and back into the town until after the snow has melted. So basically from like mid-November until April, they're trapped up there in the house. Tiernan gets there and meets her quote, Uncle Jake, her quote, cousin Noah, and she doesn't meet Caleb. He's out. They just say he's in. She doesn't know what that means. She doesn't know where he's at and has no clue. She's at this place where she doesn't know how to do like any of this stuff that they have to do to like take care of themselves, like split firewood, make a fire, how to like grow food in a garden, how to hunt, how to skin animals, like how to, she sort of kind of knows how to cook, but she like is just dumped in this place and has no idea how to fix anything or how to do anything. So she's like slowly learning while also dealing with the loss of her parents and just being in a brand new situation where she doesn't know what the heck is going on. Some things start to happen, some feelings start to develop, and this, oh my gosh, this book is really good. It's very taboo romance. Some really crazy fucked up shit happens in this book, so just read trigger warnings and know what you're going into before you read it. But when I'm telling you this book is 6 stars and had me in a freaking chokehold, it was so good. It was so good. And I do have a physical copy of it. It's just over in my stack of books that I haven't put on the bookshelves yet. And it's like buried. So I didn't even want to mess with it. So this book is also having its moment because the movie just came out. And that is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I listened to this audiobook, 2-ish years ago or so, and I loved it. It is so good. Like, it is so freaking good. And the audiobook is definitely the way to go. Like, if you're gonna read it at all, definitely the audiobook. Our main male character, he is a science teacher, like a middle grade science teacher. The Earth is going through a crisis where the sun is dying. There's some sort of microbe or something that is literally eating the sun, and the sun is dying. So that means Earth is just going to continue to get colder and colder and colder. They have discovered that there's one planet that is not being affected, and they want to know what is special about this place where it's not being affected. They send a group of people up into space. The problem is it is so far away. Like, it's so far away. They have to come up with all sorts of way to keep these people alive in this spaceship so that they can get out there and find the information. Turns out Ryland is the only one who survives, so he has to do this all on his own, sort of. Y'all, I love science. I absolutely loved the science in this book and how it was explained. I just ate this book up. So good, so good. Don't want to give anything away. 6 stars. Loved Project Hail Mary. Let's talk about another Gillian Dodge series because I forgot to mention it earlier. And that is the London Prep series. I'm on book 7, I think. Y'all, I love this series. It's so freaking good. Basically, it's about a foreign exchange student from the US going to London. Mallory is only supposed to be there for a couple of weeks. She goes to the school in the area. She's staying with a family who has a son. The sister is away in, I think, Greece for her own foreign exchange, and so Mallory's living in her bedroom, and her brother's name is Noah. And so she's going to school with Noah, who happens to be a big, strong, handsome soccer football player. So she goes to school with him and she meets his friends and they all become friends, and it's just high school drama, Gossip Girl-esque, just nonsense, and it's so great. It's so great. And the 2 people that I wanted to get together are finally together, and I'm so freaking happy about it, and I can't wait. I need to read the next book. Ugh, that's just so good. The last couple of books have been 5 stars for me. I mean, and they're short, quick reads. They're so great. Now, let's talk about a genre that I normally don't give 5 stars, and that's mystery thriller. It is very hard for me to rate a mystery thriller 5 stars, but I did that with The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. Now, I really enjoy B.A. Paris books, except for the most recent one. I didn't love that one. But The Prisoner is the previous one to that. They are like psychological thrillers. I love the storytelling in them, and this one just really got me. It just really got me. As with mystery thrillers, I don't want to give away anything. I think you should go into it blind. But just know, this is literally the only mystery thriller that I've ever rated higher than a 4 star. Ever. And it's so good. Then we have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Now, this is a YA, and it is about chess. Now, I know absolutely nothing about chess. I have never played. I don't know the rules. I know nothing about it. It was just not a thing that I have ever learned or was really ever interested in until I read this book. The main female character, Mallory, I think her name is Mallory. She is newly graduated from high school, I think. Their family is not well off, and I think the mom is sick, and so she's trying to make money to to help pay the bills and everything, and she has younger siblings. And her friend enters her into this chess tournament where she meets the main male character, Nolan, at this chess tournament. And he is supposedly the best chess player that has ever lived. And he won all these tournaments, and he's like the reigning champion, whatever. At this little rinky-dink tournament, she wins. She beats him, and he just can't fathom that. She gets this weird offer to then like work at like a chess... I'm not doing a good job explaining this. She ends up playing chess and winning a bunch of tournaments and winning a bunch of things, and they see each other over and over again and, you know, develop a relationship. And it's just super cute. It's so cute. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Ugh, so good. 2 more to talk about. I don't know why my pinky stuck out. 2 more to talk about. My Next Breath by Jeremy Renner. And the reason that I mentioned this one and Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, because I read a lot of celebrity autobiographies. I really, really enjoy them. I read Jeremy Renner's, I think it was at the beginning of this year. And y'all, the audiobook, you gotta listen to the audiobook because it goes through, it plays in there the 911 call from when he was injured and the people who were helping him, their actual 911 call, and you can hear him in the background. In the book, he says that after he gets run over by, I think it's a Hellcat, it's some like snowplow thing. After he gets run over by that, the only way that he knew he was actually breathing was because he would groan every time he would breathe out. And that was the only way that he knew for sure that he was actually breathing, because he had to force himself to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and that's why it's called My Next Breath. And y'all, it was intense. It was really, really intense. And a big chunk of the book is everything that happened during the accident. So it's very traumatic and very intense, but y'all, it was so good. And I normally don't rate autobiographies very high, but this one, definitely worth it, and listen to the audiobook for sure. We've got the last one, and then we've got some honorable mentions because I just had to. So we've got The Night Prince by Lauren Pell Freeman. Now, I know this series is having its day, and I absolutely loved it. The first book was good, but The Night Prince, whew, the things that happen in this book, and I cannot wait for The Wolf Queen when it comes out later this year. Guys, you'll like the first book, but you will love the second book. There's somebody in here you think you won't like. You'll like him, but you'll like him. Okay, we've got some honorable mentions. We've got Nightbane by Alex Astor. I am loving the Lightlark series. I am loving me some Grimm, who is a shadow daddy. Just saying. God bless Aro, but he's just not a shadow daddy. You know? But in this book, we follow Isla, who is a wildling. She's the wildling ruler. She thought she didn't have powers. In Lightlark, they are trying to save Lightlark, which is basically an island. They're trying to save Lightlark and all of the people, and to break this curse that was placed on them. And in the second book, we're following where they have another problem and they're trying to save Lightlark and all of the people again. Isla is recovering some lost memories. She's learning how to use her powers. I highly recommend that series. Then we've got The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. In this book, we follow Lyra, and she is a thief in modern day San Francisco, and every 100 years, the Greek gods put on a set of trials called the Crucible, where the gods pick human champions to compete in these trials, and whoever wins, that is the next god that becomes the king of the gods. So we follow Lyra, who is picked to be Hades' champion and compete in the Crucible, and we follow her through all of the labors and some feelings that develop and some other things. And y'all, this ends on a cliffhanger, so just saying, have the second book ready to go. And the third book comes out in November, and I am eagerly anticipating that book. We've got Endgame by Willa Gray, and this is a hockey romance, and this is a standalone. So one book and you're done. Main female character, she is a doctor. I think she's a nurse at the local hospital in Minneapolis. And the main male character plays hockey in Minneapolis. They have a meet cute where Ellie has just moved to Minneapolis from Boston, and it is the anniversary of her mother's death. And so she is at the bar across the street from her apartment, and she is getting drunk. And Matt is sitting a couple of seats down. Her and the bartender and Matt all start chit-chatting and stuff. And Matt thinks she's super cute and realizes that she's having a hard time, also realizes that she's quite drunk, and offers to walk her home. Well, obviously Ellie, not knowing this stranger, was like, no, I'm good, thanks. Matt can't stop thinking about her. One day, he's in the bar again because, spoiler alert, he owns the bar. And she walks by on one night. Her and her friend had just gone out. She walks home and she's walking back to her apartment and walks in front of the bar, and he sees her and he's like, oh my gosh, that's her. And he runs out, says, hey, I don't know if you remember me, blah, blah, blah. And he ends up walking her home. And then they go upstairs and things happen. Then the next morning, they wake up on her couch and he realizes that he's late to the pre-game meeting. So he has a hockey game that day and he's basically late showing up to the rink. He has to abruptly tell her that he's a professional hockey player. She's like, you lied to me. Like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just tell me? Like, you lied to me. So she's all mad, and then he leaves and goes to play his hockey game. Can't stop thinking about her and like how terrible he feels, and like he wants to see her again. And after the game, rushes over there to like explain everything to her and blah, blah, blah. And it goes from there. They have their ups and their downs in their relationship, and it just is really cute. It's really, really cute. And the final honorable mention, because this video is getting so long, is Mate by Ellie Hazelwood. This is the second book in her Bride series, and this one is about two werewolves, where we have Serena, who is a hybrid. She is half werewolf, half human, and she is going through some changes in her life, and she thinks she's about to die. There's no saving her, supposedly. Well, she wants to go basically die alone, and so she goes to the Northwest Territory, think like Oregon-ish area, and is living in a remote cabin in Cohen's territory, because Cohen is the alpha of the Northwest Territory. Turns out there are vampires after her, and they come and attack her in this cabin, and she can't defend herself because she can't shift. Cohen ends up saving her. From there on, won't let her out of his sight. She's staying in his house. There's obviously some tension between them. They actually find out what's going on with her and why she's feeling the way that she's feeling. And the end of this book is really good. And the way Cohen takes care of her, I loved the way that Cohen took care of her. It was just so sweet. It was just so sweet. I just loved it. I loved the art in here. I just love this book. Well, if you made it to the end of this extremely long video, please leave a wolf emoji in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.